Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about redox reactions. So let's not waste any of your time, let's get right to it. Now when we're talking redox reactions, let's just start with the name. The name is kind of a similar to a Hollywood couples power name, where they take the two names and put them together to form one word, like a Biffner, Brad Pitt, and I don't know. That was a butchered. I don't even know why. I can't even think of one. But anyway, it's the idea of taking the RED from reduction and the OX from oxidation and putting together to form a word that reminds you that these two work in tandem to get whatever needs to be done done. And I mentioned in the first video or previous video that this concept is somewhat of a challenge mentally for students, and it's because of the name. The reduction part of redox reaction, you actually are gaining an electron. So some students think, okay, if we're gaining something, how can that be a reduction? And it's the idea of we are gaining something, but it is lowering the energy level, the charge level of the molecule, and that's what's being reduced, the energy level. It would be similar in nature to where if you gained a bill that you had to pay, you are gaining something, yes, but it is lowering your bank account. And that's the same kind of idea of gaining something, but yet it being a negative overall. You can gain a medical condition that is going to lower your overall health. So gaining is not inclusively tied with positive nor negative, exclusively tied with, or losing something tied with a negative. You could lose a bad influence on your life and you'd be overall better. So the idea of gaining and losing, positive and negative, those are not words that are connected together as pairs. But a redox reaction, what we're talking about is the electrons of a bond, whether it's a ionic bond, covalent bond, whatever's going on. Something is happening where electrons from one element or molecules is being added to another. When we look at chapter 7 and chapter 8, one of the phrases that we're going to use is that if you want to know where the energy is going, follow the hydrogens, follow the H's, okay? And their electrons is what is being sought after, because those ones, those hydrogens and electrons are going to be used to generate ATP, which is going to make a bunch of energy. So, redox reaction, oxidation, okay? When an atom or a molecule, okay, they lose that electron, so they're being oxidized. Okay, and that electron is going to go to an atom or a molecule that is being reduced. In other words, it is taking on a negative electron, so it is going to lower its energy level, its value. So that in essence is a redox reaction. And again, like everything else, anabolic, catabolic, dehydration synthesis, hydrolysis, endergonic, exergonic, these things happen in tandem. when we're looking at the diagrams in chapter 7 and chapter 8, we're going to see that if one molecule is being reduced, another one is being oxidized. If a molecule is being oxidized, then another one, okay, is being reduced. And if the idea of which one is gaining, which one is losing is tricky for you, here's a nice, easy little mental exercise to help the idea of the phrase oil rig. Hopefully you know what an oil rig is. The example has nothing to do with an oil rig, but the letter combinations help. Okay, oxidized is losing. Oil, O-I-L, oxidized is losing. Rig, reduction is gaining. Okay, reduction is gaining the electron. So hopefully that helps. Or if you don't like that one, come up with your own and let me know, and maybe I'll add it to my list of helpful aids there. Alright, so continuing our talk about redox reaction, what you're looking at is the diagram beside me here. It's a before and after. The gray circles, that's the before, and in the yellow and the orange, that's the after. Now, if in this situation, molecule A, okay, loses an electron, so it's being oxidized, okay, and because it's losing that electron, it loses energy, because the hydrogens and the electrons, that's where the energy is. Molecule B is gaining an electron, so it's being reduced, and it also gains energy because of the electrons. Excuse me. So the color coding on the right hand side of the diagram, the yellow is a lower energy, the orange is a higher energy. That's just to showcase who got the electron. But again, think of oil rig. Oxidation or oxidized is losing, reduction is gaining the electron. So hopefully this is the visual aid that helps you process this concept of redox reaction and who's gaining and who's losing. Well, that's our video over redox reactions. When we get together next time, we're going to be talking about the laws of thermodynamics. So we'll see you then.